Hello, everybody. It's me, Transforming Book. Here's another video. Today, I will be making a little bit of a interesting video. I will be giving Digimon Pokemon types, which was a interesting idea given to me by my friend Goodname. I'd go and check out his channel. He doesn't really have videos, but he exists, so he's really cool. First off is Agumon. Of course, I started with Agumon. Agumon is the main guy. But so I'm thinking that Agumon would have the fire typing because he just shoots fire. That's his thing. Next up is Greymon, and by virtue of him being just a bigger Agumon, he's also fire type. Next is Metal Greymon. Metal Greymon is, I would say, he's a fire steel type, which makes sense. And finally, for the Agumon line, War Greymon, who this is a three-way street. He's for sure a fire type because he has fire type attacks, but he could be a fighting type or a steel type. So I'm just gonna say he's fire steel, just to stay with Metal Greymon. All right, next line. Gabumon would be an ice type because Gabumon is Gabumon. He shoots ice, which is just blue fire. Digimon makes no sense. I'll still say that Gabumon is an ice type though. Garurumon would be yet again an ice type, maybe also an maybe a normal type too. So I'll just say is an ice normal type. Next is Weregarurumon. Weregarurumon is of course an ice dark type because he isn't dark type. That's just for sure what he is. There's none of them in the Gabumon line that really give me any ideas as to them not being the correct typing. Like Metal Garurumon, who is literally just an ice steel type. Nothing over exaggerated or anything. He's just an ice steel type. Next up is Biomon. Biomon is, of course, a flying type. Birdramon. Birdramon is a fire flying type. Of course, it's a fire bird. Now, with Garudamon, it's not a question of uh, is it fire flying? It's a question of is it fire fighting? Because I don't remember Garudamon shooting that much fire, but it would make sense for it to just stay fire flying. But so I'll just put it as fire flying, I'll say. Next is Phoenixmon. Phoenixmon is fire flying. It's a phoenix. I think it's obvious that it would be. Oh yeah, when I was looking up Phoenixmon, I accidentally looked up Phoenix, like Phoenix, Arizona. That's a funny little bit of information. Tentomon. Tentomon would be a bug electric type. His entire evolutionary line is bug electric. Yeah, Kabuterimon is also bug electric, but has a contender for also being fighting type. Mega Kabuterimon, who's not in fact a Mega, but is instead a Ultimate, which makes no sense, is also Bug Electric. Cool. Hercules Kabuterimon is easy. It's also a Bug Electric type, but it could also be a Bug Fighting type. That's also a possibility. Gomamon is Ice Water type because it is a seal, I believe. So yeah, he's Ice Water type. Ikakumon, also Ice Water type. Zudomon. Zudomon would be a water electric type. Now, Vikemon would be an ice fighting type because Vikemon looks more like a seal than Zudomon does. Zudomon looks like a turtle. Palmon would be a grass type because it's just a plant. Togemon, the cactus with boxing gloves, would be a grass fighting type. Lilymon, yes, the first of the just women Digimon. Uh, Lilymon would be a grass fairy type because it is a fairy. Rosemon would yet again be a grass fairy type because it's just a fairy at this point. Patamon would just be a normal type because Patamon's a normal little fellow. Angemon, sorry about the really bad picture quality on him. Angemon would be a normal fairy type because the closest thing that Pokemon has to the angel type that Digimon has is fairy. Magna Angemon, yet again, more horrible picture quality. Magna Angemon would be fairy fighting type because Magna Angemon looks like he could beat anybody in a fight, and he's an angel, which, as I've established previously with Angemon, the closest thing that Pokemon has to angels is fairies. Seraphimon would be fairy steel type because of, as I said prior, Pokemon doesn't have an angel type, it has a fairy type, which is close enough. And he is wearing a suit of armor. Next is Salamon. Salamon is just a normal type. It's just normal. Gatomon is also a normal type because that's just a cat. You can't tell me that's anything more than just a cat. Angewomon is a very normal type because it's first off, it's literally just a woman, so that's why it gets the normal type. And it gets fairy type because fairy is the closest thing to angel. Fairy, which is Pokemon, angel, which is Digimon. It makes sense if you follow both of them like I do. Okay, so just riddle me this, Batman. How does a weird blob looking thing go to being a cat and then a woman and then a dragon? That makes no sense. Anyways, Magnadramon would be fairy dragon type because it's a fairy dragon. Anyways, those were all my picks for what types a Digimon would be if they were Pokemon. Uh Thank you everybody for watching. It has been Transforming Bug. Have a good whenever you are, and goodbye.